After a rough breakup, Momo Ia steps in to defend a quiet, loner student from some bullies. But not long after, the two get into a heated argument over a strange occult magazine. He's convinced aliens are real, while Momo stands by her belief in ghosts and spirits. They make a bold deal, each will try to prove their side is true. Momo heads to an abandoned hospital to find a UFO, while the guy explores a haunted tunnel in search of a spirit. And unbelievably, they both succeed. The boy ends up possessed by a twisted ghost called Turbo Granny, who demands his banana. At the same time, Momo is abducted by a group of aliens called the Serpo, who claim they want to mate with her for an experiment. Turbo Granny and the boy manage to board the UFO using Momo's dropped phone, just as Momo unlocks psychic powers by remembering her grandmother's words. Together, they fight back, take down the Serpo aliens, and crash the ship back to Earth. And in the end, the boy reveals his name, Ken Takakura, the same name as Momo's favorite actor. Momo and Ken, who she nicknames Akron to avoid getting flustered saying his real name, head to her grandma's house to recover while Momo holds back the curse inside him. But they're suddenly attacked by a sumo-like monster that traps them within the property's boundaries. At first, they think it's an evil spirit, but it turns out to be the Flatwoods monster. Akron tells Momo to release her powers holding off the curse, triggering his transformation into a yokai, a mix of himself and Turbo Granny. Even then, they can't deal enough damage, and Akron gets injured. Momo lures the alien to the gate, lets it push her out, and places a spirit charm, burning it and escaping. But with her passed out, Turbo Granny takes full control of Akron. Momo's grandmother, Seiko, a powerful spirit medium, returns home and takes down the possessed Akron. After Momo regains consciousness, she anxiously asks Seiko what happened to him. Seiko directs her to the family shrine, where Akron is being kept safe. Momo explains his condition and reveals that she's somehow developed psychic powers. Seiko then shares that Turbo Granny has merged with an even stronger crab spirit tied to a tunnel nearby. Although Seiko warns her not to confront the spirit, Momo is determined to help Akron. Seiko relents, explaining that Turbo Granny is weaker outside the tunnel and tells them to start training the next day. But things escalate when Turbo Granny shows up and demands they fight her in the tunnel, threatening to use Akron's curse to harm others if they refuse. With no choice, Seiko blesses them with protective gear, and the two head off for the final showdown. Momo and Akron head to the tunnel with the plan of luring Turbo Granny to the city's outskirts and taking her down. But things go sideways fast. Turbo Granny ambushes them and rips away Akron's curse. Thinking quickly, Momo challenges her to a game of tag, buying just enough time for them to trap her and recover the curse. They make a run for it, but are relentlessly pursued by the crab spirit and a horde of corpses under Turbo Granny's control. Even with Akron tapping into his yokai powers, they can't outrun her. She breaks free once again. In a risky move, Momo lures her onto a train headed for the outskirts. With help from Seiko, they finally manage to defeat Turbo Granny and seemingly lift the curse. Later, they return to the tunnel and uncover the tragic truth. Turbo Granny once tried to bring peace to the spirits of girls who suffered terrible abuse and died. Before parting, Momo tells Akron she's looking forward to seeing him again, leaving him completely over the moon. Momo and Akron start getting closer at school, but things spiral when they accidentally kiss, and Momo's friends immediately assume they're dating. That sparks a heated argument. Later, while in the bathroom, Akron makes a disturbing discovery and rushes to speak with Momo, but she turns him away. After school, Akron bumps into a student and politely apologizes. She seems nice until Momo overhears her mocking him behind his back. Furious, Momo snaps and uses her powers to injure the girl. Not long after, Akron reveals something troubling. While he got his banana back, his balls are now missing. Desperate for answers, they turn to Seiko. Seiko performs a ritual, and Momo pulls a spirit out of Akron, which immediately possesses a nearby Maneki Nico doll. It's revealed to be Turbo Granny. She explains that after being defeated by them, she possessed Akron in a last-ditch effort to survive. Though she's no longer in control, Akron can still access his yokai form, thanks to residual spiritual energy left behind. As for his missing balls? Turbo Granny admits she has no idea where they went. Turbo Granny reveals that Akron's balls have transformed into golden kintama, now infused with her aura and attracting spirits like a beacon. At school, Ara Shiratori, the girl who made fun of Akrin the previous day, suddenly says she can see Momo's powers. She even pulls out the kintama she took after their fight with Turbo Granny. Sensing this, Turbo Granny realizes Ara may have awakened spiritual abilities. Ara then confronts Momo and tries to exorcise her. Akrin and Turbo Granny rush in to help, but things escalate fast when a woman in a pink dress shows up, calls herself Ara's mother, and captures her. Akrin and Momo fight back, but Akrin gets swallowed. Turbo Granny identifies the entity as Acrobatic Silky. When Ara calls her a monster, she gets swallowed too, followed by Momo. But Momo manages to set the spirit's hair on fire with Ara's cross-shaped lighter, forcing her to spit them all out. Momo and Akrin manage to keep Acrobatic Silky distracted long enough to take her down and recover Akrin's kintama from Ara. But it comes at a cost. Ara's body couldn't handle Acrobatic Silky as an ordinary human, and she dies. In a surprising turn, Acrobatic Silky offers her own aura to bring Ara back. As Momo links their auras, she's pulled into Silky's past. Once a single mother drowning in debt, Silky took on any job she could, even degrading ones, just to support her daughter. But when loan sharks stormed in, they assaulted her and kidnapped her child. Broken and alone, she ended her life. Her spirit wandered until she encountered a young, grieving Ara who mistook her for her own mother. Touched, the spirit took on the role, becoming Acrobatic Silky to protect her. Ara is revived. Silky, fading away, expresses deep regret over her unresolved pain. Moved, Ara embraces her and promises never to forget. With that, Silky finally begins to find peace. Although Momo and Akrin manage to save Ara, she still believes Momo is a demon and becomes determined to free Akrin from her, which only annoys Momo further. Meanwhile, Turbo Granny reattaches Akrin's kintama, restoring his body. Momo grows uneasy when Akrin starts spending time away from her at school, and things get worse when she sees him on top of Ara. Just moments earlier, Akrin had gone off to work out when he ran into Ara. She awkwardly confessed her feelings, which led to an argument until she accidentally tripped him, landing them in a suspicious position right as Momo showed up. Akrin tries to explain, but Momo, clearly jealous, refuses to listen. Later, while class is in session, Akrin notices the school is flooding and his classmates have disappeared. He reunites with Ara, and they realize they're stuck in a realm similar to the one where he fought the Flatwoods monster. Elsewhere, Momo hides from an alien that looks like a plesiosaur, while Akrin and Ara are suddenly attacked by a mantis shrimp-like creature. The Serpoians return, capturing Akrin and knocking Ara out. Just as they're about to experiment on him, Ara awakens and unlocks Acrobatic Silky's powers, saving Akrin from the Serpoians just in time. Ara faces off against the mantis shrimp and Serpoians, when a completely naked Akrin jumps into the fight to help. Momo soon arrives as backup, and together, they manage to defeat the Serpo-controlled mantis shrimp. But things escalate quickly as the realm turns into water, and the plesiosaur appears and Akrin identifies it as Nessie, which begins killing off the Serpoians. The mantis shrimp grows stronger in this aquatic setting and knocks Ara out, throwing Momo and Akrin into a panic. Akrin urges Momo to open up emotionally amidst the chaos. They save Ara and escape. To move more easily, Momo and the revived Ara strip to their underwear. The final Serpo fuses with Nessie and the mantis shrimp. After struggling, the trio defeats it and returns to school only to be misunderstood and humiliated by their classmates. Momo and Ira sit in silence, overwhelmed by everything that just happened, while Akrin tries to make sense of what the aliens were after. Akrin then fills Momo in on what went down the day before. Elsewhere, when Ira's classmates plan to go after Momo, fueled by rumors Ira started, Ira steps in, takes responsibility, and tells them to stop spreading lies. She later meets up with Momo, and together they find the wounded mantis shrimp and bring him to Seiko's place. After dinner, he reveals that his son, Chiquitita, is in danger of dying from constant blood loss. Hearing this, Seiko gives him a glass of milk, which he realizes is basically the same as his own blood. Overjoyed, he's allowed to take a cow, and in return, he promises to help them whenever they need him. Not long after, someone shows up at the door. Momo recognizes him instantly as Jean, Gigi and Joji. When Akrin asks who he is, Seiko drops the bomb. Gigi is Momo's childhood friend, and her first crush. Akrin is left speechless. Seiko reveals that Gigi will be living with them, his parents are in the hospital. But later, Gigi tells Momo the truth, his parents are actually victims of a supernatural curse, and spirit mediums led him to Seiko for help. Gigi transfers to Momo and Akrin's school, and Akrin quickly grows jealous of how easily Gigi bonds with Momo. He starts to worry, if Momo falls for Gigi, will she cut him off? As Akrin turns to leave them, he suddenly spots something strange, a living anatomical model named Taro, running away in a panic. He quickly calls out to Momo, who then notices something shiny near Taro's groin. She suspects it might be Akrin's missing Kintama. The three chase Taro across the city, eventually tracking him to a junkyard, where he reunites with another model named Hana. Taro confesses his love to Hana, and in that moment, Akrin realizes he's in love with Momo, and he's not ready to give up. After realizing the Kintama Momo saw was just a Christmas ornament, the group brings Hana to Seiko's place and waits there for Taro to arrive. At the same time, Gigi's visions of the spirit behind his parents' illness grow stronger. Momo, Gigi, and Akrin head to Gigi's cursed home, and during the trip, Akrin starts feeling jealous of how well Momo and Gigi are getting along. Trying to win her attention, Akrin talks about his hobbies, but unexpectedly, it's Gigi who seems interested. When they reach the house, none of them realize they're being watched. Momo senses nothing strange but feels the spirit is hiding. She tells the others to rest while she heads into town to visit an onsen by herself. Left alone, Akrin and Gigi start talking, and the topic quickly shifts to what they admire about Momo. Back at the onsen, Momo is suddenly surrounded by a group of men. Meanwhile, the boys find a new room in the house, and after breaking through a fake wall, they discover it's filled with talismans.